And back here live at the Pizza Ranch is another edition of Tiger Sports Saturday. And with me now, joining me, I should say, is Dylan Thompson, Fishing with Dylan. How's it going today, bud?
Good morning, Dave. Things are going good.
Things are going good, and I should say in certain parts. Fishing report has not been the good around here, though, I've heard. Kind of the weather just kind of messing havoc with everything.
Yeah, this week, and, we had the warm weather last week and cold weather, and what even happened? It was kind of wild for, well, probably not unseasonable, but there's a lot of fluctuation in temp, and everything I've heard says the fish didn't like that.
No, and I've, just driving around, of course, some of the hot spots. Obviously, like the dam. A lot of people have been down there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're really getting down there because right now we can't have walleye.
No walleyes.
You can still get perch, though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get perch.
Panfish are still good to go.
But I don't know what they're really trying to. I mean, because that's a hot spot for a lot of walleye a lot of times.
Yeah, it can be.
But what are they even trying to get down there? Do you know, or are they just practicing?
Yeah, maybe they're practicing. I'm not 100% sure, but I have seen some people down there if I happen to drive by. Occasionally crappies will swim into current like that, so I mean it's not out of line to think that crappies or perch or something could be in there.
Okay. And I know one thing we kind of talked a little bit here during the last news segment, carp fishing. It's kind of becoming a big thing, and I know there was some excitement last night on Facebook and, and stuff like that. And I know you deal with quite a few probably carp fishermen as well.
Yeah, there's a few around.
I know my buddy Sean, he's diehard, Sean Virus.
Yes.
He's diehard. I mean, he even built his own carp boat and whatever else. But what's the big thing with the carp? I mean, what's that big draw? Is it just the fight or?
I think a lot of the guys are actually bow fishing them, which is a little bit different deal. But I mean, they make equipment that you can attach very, very simply to an old bow. Little reel goes on your stabilizer bar, and then you shoot an arrow with a string tied to it at the fish, and yeah, I don't know. No, it's just good old-fashioned redneck fun, Dave.
Well, and I don't know if you ever joined. I'm trying to think if you actually joined us. I know me and Hillman and Bjorn and them when we'd go down the Shell Rock there. My dad had an old bow and arrow.
Sure.
And sure as heck, we tried doing that, and we never did get one, but it was just kind of fun just shooting an arrow into the...
Yeah, I don't think I ever joined you guys doing it, but I did go through a little bow fishing phase before I was able to get my hands on a boat. And when the kids were younger, we'd go roam up and down the Shell Rock shores, and we got into some wild parsnip once, and that was a mistake. So, bad deal. I ended up at the doctor for that because the blisters kept spreading. That was a bad deal. So, learn to always wear pants when you're roaming the riverbank. That helped a lot. But yeah, we stuck quite a few fish, and I used them as garden fertilizer. I know people smoke some carp.
I've never tried it. I heard it's good.
I've heard it's good too. People tell me it's good. They swear up and down. And every piece I've ever eaten, to me, tastes like mud, right? And I will continue to try it, If somebody comes up and tells me they figured it out, they got it dialed, right? I will eat a piece. But
now, is carp one of those, like, when it's colder out, is it better to eat when it's cold? They always say, like, bullhead, you get a nice cold water bullhead. It's good.
Sure.
You don't want to have that mushy midsummer.
It could be true. It could be. But like I said, I've never
done it. If anybody knows, let us know. Because, once again, they're very plentiful out there.
Well, and that is getting way more popular, right? Like you said, your friend Sean, I know it's less than a handful, but 5 years ago I didn't know anybody that did it. And so, you'll see these boats out at night with big lights on them and cruising real slow through shallow water. And I would expect that to end, as we get into summer and boat traffic and other sediment in the water starts showing up and you don't have the visibility. So if anybody's wound up about it or worried about it, they're not going to be doing it all year long, all night long. You have a brief window when the water's clear enough to do it, maybe 6-8 weeks, and then you're going to have to go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else and do that.
Successful.
I know, a few things, some of the questions, and I kind of brought this up just a little bit ago. International waters, okay, so we have a lot of people now that are going over towards the Mississippi. But when we get up to like Lake of the Woods and things like that, what are the regulations for waters like that? And I know you had said right now you can get pike are always going. Walleye is still open till the 14th on internet on there. What were you saying on that again?
Yep. Okay. So border waters with Canada, pike and perch and other panfish are continuous season, never closes. So if you're feeling wild and you still need to drill a hole in the ice and try to drag a fish through it, and you've got spare time, run up there. Pike are staging outside of bays or any inlet that is flowing into Lake of the Woods, and it's an excellent opportunity for trophy class pike through the ice. I've heard of multiple fish over 40 inches being caught, and when I say multiple, like many, right? Not like three. The big girls are going into their pre-spawn patterns, and they're going to be trying to find their spawning areas. So yeah, great opportunity if you still have the ice fishing itch to soak a hot dog, right?
Yep.
And then the walleye season, the Rainy River is ice free as of Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and that is an incredible fishery and opportunity this time of year to catch. You'd have a legit chance to catch multiple 30-inch fish in a day. And that season is open until the 14th, and then walleye closes up there and reopens with the traditional opener throughout the rest of Minnesota.
So we had talked about this a little bit last week, of course, Mother's
Rainy
Day
Lake
weekend.
is a great opportunity
Rainy?
also.
Okay, Rainy Lake, get up there too. And I'm not going to give out the name because I know he likes to listen. But if you keep sending me photos, and that's where he's been going, and just getting monsters.
Lake of the Woods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? Come on, man. So yeah. Let's talk a little bit, as we're getting closer to the opener, some etiquette. And I know you were kind of telling me a story here about somewhere a little bit further down south and how, sometimes anglers can get abrupt.
Yeah. So I'll try to do the Cliff Notes version of this story. Ultimately, I think it was in Punta Gorda, Florida, near a bridge. I'm not super familiar with the geography of the area, but there was a private angler that was accosted by a charter captain, and the charter captain was really upset about an incident that had happened a couple mornings previous, and thought he recognized this kid in his boat, and approached him and was screaming and hollering at him, being really nasty, saying all sorts of really not cool stuff, and ended up boarding the individual's vessel, left his boat, and got on this other kid's boat, put hands on him, and then made the kid driving back to the boat he abandoned that he left what appeared to be clients on. Like, this dude was out of control. So this goes absolutely bananas on social media the last couple days, right? If you're on any fishing pages, I'm sure you saw it, and I bet you're chuckling right now, right along with us, because it was a wild scene. There's video of the whole deal, and the guy got arrested and was charged with felony burglary, which I think burglary people usually think means stealing, but he entered property with intent to commit a crime, and apparently that's the true legal definition of burglary. So learned something on that today too. And really the point of this whole story is, like you said, we're getting a little closer to opener, and sometimes our shore fishing spots can have quite a few anglers on them. Respect your neighbors, respect your fellow anglers. You're all out there trying to have a good time and enjoy the resource. You don't need to be troubling anyone else, right? There's plenty of places you can go if your plan A spot has somebody on it. There's B, C, D, all the way down the rest of the alphabet. There's plenty of places.
That's just it. I mean, and we have such smaller lakes, and that's one of the etiquette things that I really want people to know too is, if you are seeing people fish, I know we're not at the point yet for skiing and tubing.
Right.
But if you are out there skiing and tubing, kind of have a little courtesy too towards the fisher people. And, because some of them, they're out there just trying to get their kids excited into fishing and having a good family thing. We have plenty of other, let's just say, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but there's plenty of water out there. Just try to stay away from like the fisher people.
Yeah, it's a shared resource, and we always need to remember that. And whether you're sharing with another angler or sharing with a recreational boater, and respect goes both ways, right? I've been out on the river or not even on the river, around here, and somebody feels like another angler got too close to them, and they'll pitch their bait at the other person's boat and hit the boat and do all that. Like, don't be petty. Just, you can slide a few feet away. It's no big deal.
Yeah, and of course, as you get, some of the other lakes around the area that are a lot larger, people are always tending to go to those certain hot spots. So as big of, like even Mille Lacs, as big of a lake as Mille Lacs is, you're going to see boats that are huddled around the same area because that's where the fish are biting.
Right.
That definitely tends to happen here as well. Like I said, we kind of went through a little bit of a report. I know
it's been tough locally.
Yeah, Al Drescher too. He hasn't really been getting out there, and he's kind of the guy that tells me all the time, what's the fishing report and whatever. Just it's been kind of cold. What is that kind of doing really for like the Upper League anglers, for the youth? Is that pushing anything back as far as tournament wise for them, or no?
No, everything will continue as scheduled. Whatever weather or circumstance happens, it would take something really extreme to goof up some of those dates, right? And it plan on everything to go on as scheduled.
Okay. So what else are you hearing out there as far as with the outdoors? I know we had talked a little bit before, and we're going to get in as it gets closer to turkey and things like that.
Start practicing your turkey calling right now. We are coming down the home stretch. I think we're 10 days out from opener. Let me check my watch. 11 days.
11 days.
Opener.
So the 16th it opens. Okay.
Day one. So get your calls out. I mentioned this a few weeks back, but get your turkey vest out, dust that off. Make sure you're dialed in on your bow if you're going that way, or your shotgun's patterned. We're coming down the home stretch. Make sure the vest is tidy. Run them calls. I know sometimes I use diaphragm calls, and they'll get real sticky over the off season if you don't blow them all the time. So if you need to replace any of those, or chalk up your box calls, or condition your pot calls, whatever the deal is, this is your chance to make sure everything's dialed as we head into the home stretch before turkey season. And I have seen the strutting. They're ready.
They're out there. Yeah.
They're ready for you. Get ready for them. It's time.
What else is happening as far as with hunting? I know the other day we seen a bunch of decoys out there. As far as for bird wise, what's open right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. So they just were setting up.
Where was it? Oh, maybe snow geese.
Snow geese. That's what it was. Yes.
Okay.
So snow geese is still going, or is that done now?
Gosh, I haven't done that in a long time. I think it goes till April 30th.
Okay.
Now that I think about
it. Yeah, it was snow geese. That's what it was.
Check your regulation, because I'm not 100 on that. I did it a few years ago. It's fun. They're better eating than people say they are. Like, I think I'd rather have one of those than a Canada most of the time. And I might get some hate mail for that, but they're pretty good, and they're plentiful. And if you want to run west a little ways, there's probably a little more opportunity. I did see some around here a couple weeks ago, but haven't since.
And the Canadian geese, they're out moving around right now. I know I almost hit one the other day with my vehicle. I'm like, get out of the road, man.
They should be starting to nest here anytime. We're kind of in that period where they're back and hopefully have established their nesting territories and nesting grounds. We're a few short weeks from having goslings running around, and the ducks will follow shortly. And I know it's not necessarily local to here, but the bears are going to be waking up here shortly and start roaming around looking for their first.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any bears traveling further south. I know that's one thing they said. They were kind of coming down a little bit further south, but I don't think we're there yet.
We're in danger yet.
Danger yet. So, anything else you want the listeners to know today, then, Dylan?
No, I think we covered it pretty good. We had a couple less minutes today, but there wasn't a whole lot fishing-wise to talk about with everything around here being so snug and the weather not really being, in the spring, you want as comfortable a day as you can find if you're going to go out, and we really didn't have this last week. So I don't blame anybody for not trying.
No, that's definitely for sure on that. Well, Dylan, I want to thank you for coming in today, and it's always a pleasure. I know we got to hang on a little bit last Saturday night, and we did some talking and whatever else, and this is fun, and we always try to get maybe get a little bit of controversy stirred up every now and then with
fun.
the local.
Get the people talking.
It's always a good time. So, Dylan, I want to thank you. That's going to put a wrap here on our Tiger Sports Saturday for today. With that, this has been Sports Director Dave Nelson. I got a few more ads to play here, and then we'll get you underway, plus a little bit of weather. And once again, tonight, Austin Bruins taking on the North Iowa Bulls. I will be there, so if you see me out and about, just let me know. This Tiger Sports Saturday, again, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, Americon Insurance, and, of course, the Austin Bruins. Take care. We'll see you all next week.